Well, if you remember in the last video, we were working on this wagon, and I got new bolts put in the tie rod ends there. This thing travels nice and straight. That wheel over there doesn't do this number anymore. This wagon's all ready to go. I got a small load of straw bales that it's going out, so we're gonna load it up. 25 bales, about a 10-minute drive down the road. Quick, easy load, make a little money, good deal. Yesterday was 50 degrees out. Today's 20. Got a little bit of spoilage here on the bale, but I think that's because this was a bottom bale, so he might have had a hole here. That's all right. I think they'll still eat it. Hey, did I say you could eat yet? We didn't pray over our food. Dear Jesus, bless this food to the cow's body so they get big and fat and taste really good in my burger. Amen. They don't understand English. They don't know what's coming. Excuse me. Woo! This corner is in dire need of cleanup. This afternoon, I'm working on the thrust bearings and the spindles on this 966 here. I already did this side, so I know what I'm looking at now. It's not too bad of a job. Really, all I got to do is take this nut off here up top, pull the washer, tap this steering arm off the spline shaft, pull a snap ring, and then the whole spindle drops out. I can replace my felt washer and the thrust bearing. So I'm gonna kind of video this process. I'm not gonna do too much talking, but I'm gonna video the steps and follow along. I apologize, but I might have to pause the video here because my camera is about to die. So I'll see you in a minute whenever this phone is done charging. Here's your spline shaft, the top of the spindle. The steering arm has splines in there, and it just comes right off of that. Tap it off with a hammer. Some may be harder to get off, depends how long they've been on there, but this one came off pretty easily. Take my jack. I just jacked up on the bottom of the spindle to expose the snap ring or retainer ring, whatever terminology you would like to use. And then you just work away with your snap ring pliers or whatever you got to get this snap ring off, and then the whole spindle will drop out of the bottom. The retaining ring is removed. I just use this cheap snap ring pliers. It's reversible, so if I squeeze it, it opens it up. I use that to open it up, and then I took my screwdriver and just pried it out of there. So I'm gonna let the jack down, and that's gonna let the whole spindle out, and we'll pull the old thrust bearing and replace the bearing in the washer. It's a felt washer gasket thingy. We'll slide it back up, jack it back up in there, drop our retaining ring in, put our spindle on. Now the thing is with the spindles, and I think I screwed it up on this side, is there are so many little teeth on that spindle, and I should have marked where it was at before I took it all apart, because when I went to put it back together, I didn't really know how I should orient it with the hub, because everything spins here. So it kind of looks like this wheel is cocked out or cocked inward a little bit, but originally this one looked like it was also cocked that way a little bit, but I think this one is about a tooth or two off. So I either need to put this side back together correctly, which I put some marks on it so I know where everything lines up, and then go back and fix this one, or I could keep that one the way it is and then just adjust this one to compensate for that one being off a little bit, because I don't want them to be like off, or else it's not going to steer right. I'm going to get some wear on the tires. I could also adjust the tie rods, but I really don't want to mess with that. We'll see what I do. I'm not an expert, but something tells me that the previous owner of this tractor forgot to grease the spindle a time or two, or for a while. Seems a little rusty, and there's marks on there. I don't know. The other one did not look like that. In your professional opinion, what do you think? Pull the spindle all the way out, like so. Gonna be greasy. Here's the old thrust bearing. Now this one was not that bad. The other side was actually a lot worse. Now there's supposed to be a felt washer here, and it's not here. So either it disintegrated or someone just never put one in. Unless that's the washer, but that just looks like really thick, gunky grease. So it's gonna kind of clean it up a little bit down here, like so. We're gonna put our felt washer on. It goes at the bottom here. It fits nicely at the bottom there. Then we drop our new thrust bearing in, which there is a proper orientation. The beveled end, you can kind of see there's a beveled side. That goes down on the bottom, I think. Who knows? I may be doing it wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's how I pulled it off. That's that. That's all that is. Then stick it back up inside. This thing is very heavy. Come on. So, oh man. Oh, oh man. You know, if you're planning on doing this, I highly recommend you maybe grab a second person for 5 minutes. It'll make everything a heck of a lot easier. Okay. Okay. All right. Oh boy. Good enough. Now at this point, we just do everything that we did in the first place in reverse. We're gonna jack this thing up, get it pressed up in there good, drop our snap ring in, and make sure we get everything aligned right. Then we'll put our steering arm on, and then the washer, and then the nut, and the tire rod, then the wheel, and then all is done. And there we go, it is all done. You guys tell me, does the front end, does it look right? I can't tell if it looks right or not, because it just seems like this one is maybe pointed in more than this one. I don't know. You guys tell me. What are you seeing, or does it look the same? I did measure it with the tape. If I go from here to here, I'm at 77 inches. And then if I go from there to here, I'm also at 77. So I'm guessing that's right. I got 77 inches, measure from here to here on both sides. So I'm assuming that's right. It just looks a little off. And this wheel in particular just seems like it's, I don't know, cocked that way a lot. Maybe it's just my eyes. Maybe it's just messing with me. I don't know. You guys tell me, how does that look? According to the tape, I'm right, but I don't know how right it is. So let me know in the comments.